Hi everybody, welcome to Pro Tools 101 lessons here at educator.com. My name is Evren Adler and I will be your teacher during this Pro Tools tutorial. This is our pre-introduction to our introduction course and lessons. At the top of this introduction, what you heard was one of my composition called Circles, that in this beginning tutorial, as we call this introduction, I would like to talk about a couple of things that I've done on this arrangement and introduce you a couple of virtual instruments and the basics before we start on the lesson one, which is right after this. So basically, I was doing a couple of things that will be your one of your first key commands. Command equals, going in between the two major screens in Pro Tools. We have the edit window, then we have the mix window. Under the window menu, you can go in between. So we're going to change the windows, and I was doing certain things. I open and show some of the cool features, instruments, and plugins. So we're going to talk about a couple of these. The first and the most important thing before we get into any kind of traditional knowledge-based lessons, once we hear the editing window on Pro Tools, we have a couple of buttons here we call transport. It looks like a traditional old-school looking CD players or DVD, Blu-ray players. Stop and play. You can of course apply these to play and stop, but no Pro Tools users really do that, so spacebar will be doing that, or 0 on the numeric keypad. Numeric keypad is very important on Pro Tools because there are so many key commands that we will need to use the numeric keypad. So just like having said that, one thing I did was the loop. Look at this play. If you press on 4 on the numeric keypad, you turn on and off loop selection. You have to select something. How we select, we have all bunch of edit tools that we're going to be learning. This is a selector tool, so usually we can select some place, and then if we go and press on 4, we can loop that section. Some of the things that I was showing you are new in Pro Tools 10, and we'll be talking about these a lot. One of the new plugins right here, Channel Strip. It's a great new plugin. If you're currently running Pro Tools 10, that's one of them come with Pro Tools 10. If you're running earlier version, there are still great plugins there for effects and virtual instruments, but Channel Strip is one of the new ones where we can adjust some dynamics and EQ settings, filter them all at once here, and great factory presets right there. I highly recommend you to try. Another one I was showing you during the track is this one called Mood Delay. These are by Avid. As well, we use a bunch of virtual instruments comes with Pro Tools. One of them was vacuum. As you see this light here, if you turn your vacuum, you may not be seeing that light. Or if I turn on this loop track right here, this is my mix window, by the way. Mix window, all we see right here are the faders, and we can see our inserts, instruments, and we will learn how to adjust, how to get to each one of them in upcoming lessons. But over here, if I go to this expand, which is another great Pro Tools virtual instruments, you will see here there's a bunch of red dots. That's because I made them automated. Automation, it is something that you can write and record, and of course we will be learning these, and by writing any type of automation you can also create some great effects. I'd like to go back, command equals, the first thing that you learn on this course, and just go this one, nice so lead it's called. That's by structure free. So if I turn the structure free on, you'll see this automation is written. I'm not touching anything, but I already wrote it. So basically, cut off button goes up and down, creates this effect. On this track, actually I have color codes. I have certain color codes that you will be seeing. You can probably think about those kind of things as you go along. If you're new to the world of Pro Tools, welcome. I've been using Pro Tools since the earlier 7th edition, so this is the 10th edition, but I love working with 8th edition as well, 9, so it's just great. One major thing we need to know, regions are now called clip, and instead of a region list, we have a clip list. I'm pretty sure I'll be talking about that many times because people who are using the program for a long time, we still call them regions sometimes. But that's one new thing as well. And if you have the current 10, as of today, that's the newest edition. This is early 2012. So you have a solo and mute button, which is a cool feature. If you solo something, you see in the main counter. If you're running an earlier version, you may not see the solo and mute button. Mute is telling you that something muted, and solo status, it's actually unsolo. So this is basically the general first look of the Pro Tools here. I color my tracks. Anything I have drums and percussions, I try to color them yellow. Then I have here the bass and the distortion, kind of a little bit dirty sounding bass with the distortion effect. All these are basically audio files, waveforms. These are all audio tracks, and I have instrument tracks. I have my master, and the color code seems like all the instrument tracks I choose purple. Go back to the mix window again. If you know where to look at it, this arrow here shows us the auxiliary track, and there are a couple of things right here that we will see. The MIDI track, that's the track type that we're looking at it, and the bottom of each track. So this is one way to know what's really audio track, what not. There are some of the things are busts here from like some great third-party plugins like Omnisphere and Albino and those kind of third parties, and I turned I bust those into the audio tracks. These are stereo audio tracks and still colored them purple. Everything that I'm talking about right now, from coloring to the different edit mix views, all the menu structures, the toolbar, counters, clips, tracks, everything that you see here, each one of them will get covered in upcoming lessons. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure that like you're not really exactly moving if you didn't understand one thing, because in a creative process this may be very important. When we're creating and recording, we don't really want to stop and think about it and search. So basically, if you spend a little bit time to go over these videos, I am very sure, I'm confident that they're going to help you a lot on the way. So welcome to Pro Tools 101 course here at educator.com.